coolest things that happened to me here in Albuquerque was the success of that first video I did about the town, and the fact that I would go around town into a shop, into Walmart, on the street, people would recognize me. That was cool. You know, hey, I dig your channel, man. Hey, are you Joffre the Giant? Good stuff. It was, I felt like a little bit of a celebrity, and I felt a little bit like this is my town. Your town too, obviously, but it felt like it was my town. And that was very cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I am leaving Albuquerque. Yep. And I've been a little nervous about making this video, about telling you guys. I feel like I have a relationship with you guys. I know it's just a feeling, you know, it's just a couple of comments here and there on the videos and some interactions. But actually, with a bunch of you guys, I do have a real relationship. And, you know, we went to restaurants, and, you know, we went out for a drink. You know, we met for this or that purpose, all through the channel. I met a ton of cool people through this channel. And now I'm telling all these cool people that we're out. And so that's hard. But we are going to move at the end of March, which will mean that by the time we leave, we will have been here for 13 months. So I'm glad at least it was over a year. It will have been over a year. But yeah, big stuff. You know, and I'm here at a park right now, just looking up at the mountains, and it's a little bit melancholy. A lot of people are going to ask why. And, you know, we had a hard time here. Principally because of one event. The thing I was going to say was one traumatic event, and then I pulled up. I don't know if it was traumatic, but it was certainly life-changing and made us reevaluate a lot of things. So you all remember, if you're regular viewers, that Kimberly had a heart attack while she was here. A type of heart attack that not a lot is known about. You know, moving can be stressful, but the causes of this heart attack aren't the normal blood pressure, plaque buildup. The word spontaneous is in the name they've given to this heart attack, basically because they don't really know why it happens. It happens to younger women, mostly, between the ages of 40 and 50. And, you know, in doing a lot of our research, we ran across the suggestion a few times that altitude might play a part. Certainly not a major factor. The thing people think about the most as far as causes of this heart attack is hormones. Women who have been pregnant, and pregnant quite a bit, are even more likely to have these types of heart attacks. Kimberly has been pregnant quite a bit. So, you know, we started thinking about being closer to family. You know, Kimberly's parents came down after her heart attack. And we, you know, there's a very high for us, high for our tastes, recurrence rate. You know, one study said 1/4 of people have this thing happen again within a few years. Another study said half. And usually if it recurs within a few months, and that hasn't happened, but still, you know, it just really filled us with, you know, just evaluating again where we were. And like I said, wanting to be near your family. So we're moving to Moscow, Idaho. And we're very happy about it. But I'm leaving behind a great and very meaningful, very fulfilling job. Not all of you know, many of you have figured out, but not all of you know that I work for Faith Comes by Hearing. which is an audio Bible ministry. We make Bibles for minority peoples across the world. So I was able to work with Brazilians, work with Africans, all over the world, work on making recordings of the New Testament happen. And I'm leaving that behind. And we're going up to Moscow, Idaho, to a town that we have history in, where my eldest daughter was born. A town where at least a few of our kids will probably go to college. And the most attractive thing about going to this town is it's a place where we have some roots, and we'll be within a day's travel of my in-laws to the east in Montana, and of my family, my mother's family, to the west in Portland, Oregon. So, those are the happenings, guys. I hope that many of you, I know a lot of you guys are tuning in for the Albuquerque content, and that's awesome, and I really appreciate it. But you've probably noticed in the last few months I've begun to produce more just general content. My YouTube channel will be going back to sort of the format that I had before, so talking a lot of theology and culture and family stuff. And but I hope that a lot of you guys choose to stick around, especially if we've been talking online. I've really enjoyed that, and I want to continue to enjoy that. And hey, you can discover a little bit about northern Idaho in my videos in the future as well. So, like I said, I hope that we can continue having this online relationship. You follow me on my other platforms: Instagram, Joffre the Giant. I thought I would end. So, we're gonna approach northern Idaho with the same optimism that we approached Albuquerque with, and so you guys can follow along with that. But right, the reason I mentioned that was because some of you guys might be curious about what my new job is and what I'll be doing. So especially if you are interested in education, if you have children who are in junior high and high school, this could be interesting to you. I'm going back into education. So I was an ESL teacher for 15 years to adults. But I'll be working with the company that it's alternative education, online education for junior high and high school kids. And I'm going to attach now at the end of this video a clip. I think I'm featured in it. I actually haven't even looked at this particular version yet. But it sort of explains what Kepler education is. And you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to continue to make videos while I'm here. So expect to hear from me soon. Thanks, guys. The peace of Christ be upon you.
It was my wife in the very beginning who was very convinced that we needed to homeschool. We wanted to instill into our children, a biblical ethic, a biblical worldview.
I grew up in Lyon, France, a city of 2 million, and we were the only Christian homeschoolers in that city.
So as someone who was homeschooled myself, and now we're homeschooling our own kids, it can be such a struggle to find the right support, the right resources.
This is something I've thought quite a bit about, not just as a teacher of college students, but also as a parent.
When they get into the junior high and high school age, who is going to teach them calculus? Who is going to teach them chemistry? Who is going to teach them algebra? Were we really preparing our children?
If you believe that there is a gap that needs to be filled in your children's education, which of course, as we run into junior high and high school, more and more of these begin to emerge. One of the things I want to do is to be able to help you find the right options within Kepler to fill those gaps.
So Kepler is an online platform where Christian families can find quality educators who are committed to their faith, they're committed to the student, and they're committed to liberal arts education.
Kepler is unique because we are not a traditional school where what you encounter is the administration. Instead, we are bringing independent teachers, a group of highly qualified independent teachers. I mean, we're independent teachers. That's an important part, where you can choose the teachers that fit your family's needs the most, and you don't have control over that at other online schools because you're buying into the school, not the teacher.
Our teachers are educated. Our teachers are passionate about what they're doing. They're passionate about classical Christian education. They're passionate about investing themselves into students.
Mathematics is the language that God has given us to describe His world. Then I took my first calculus class. I just felt like the more that I learned about mathematics, the more I was learning about God.
You know, a lot of people, when they study history, it's just like a series of 3x5 cards. History was a creative discipline, and that's so often not how history is taught in high school.
I teach because I want people to know and love Jesus. Over the years, that has become more and more my focus as I teach STEM, as I teach philosophy, as I teach theology, so that people would not struggle like I did with faith, and they could get on with their lives of loving the Lord without having these obstacles.
So come, join us on the Kepler platform. Partner with teachers who will aid you in your task of giving your children an education that is Christian, that is classical, and that is robust.